The next leg of my Central Minnesota ghost hunt takes me to Pioneer Place on Fifth Theater in downtown St. Cloud. Well, the building didn't actually start as a theater. It was built in 1913 as an Elks Club and became a theater in the mid-1970s. Now, in 1998, Dan Barth and his brother Mark bought the building, and since then they've had a number of encounters with the supernatural. Dan was kind enough to show me around the place today, and I learned a lot of really spooky stuff.
Over the years, we've brought in 3 different mediums or psychics, and they've all told us of the presence that they've felt in the rooms. We think that there are 3 different spirits in the building. One upstairs is an older gentleman who wears a black suit, and he's been spotted by a number of our customers over the years. Then we have a woman, probably in her mid-30s, that resides more in our basement area, and that one's been seen a number of times. But also, she's a little more ornery. She likes to play with the electricity in the building and lots of doors slamming, and likes to move things. She's kind of a mover, especially costumes and props and that type of stuff that she'll likes to steal and put elsewhere. We have a number of posters that are all framed that have been there for several years. We changed them out. One day we were downstairs having lunch, and we heard this tremendous crash. And we came upstairs, and a couple of the pictures were on the ground, but what was so unique about it is the way that the rest of them were tilted. It was done by a wind, and we do have a photo of that I'll show you. We took some pictures of it when it happened. So as you can see, this one and this one were the 2 that were, and this one were taken down. Whoa. But you could see how something gushed through it. And obviously there's no doors that would have caused that or anything. And then they're always face down, which is something that's always kind of weird to us. They always land up face down.
Wow.
So we clean it up, and then typically the ghosts will come back and try to clean it up after the fact. We had a framed glass, about 24 by 36 painting, and a similar thing happened. Again, we were downstairs, we heard this great crash. The whole wall was filled with framed art, but the one center picture was taken down somehow, and it ended up right on the floor here. It didn't tumble down the steps, it just ended up here. Just drifted down here, and we were like, wow, this is so weird. We had a show that night in the theater, a play, and I was locking up, and the director of the play was with me, and we were kind of the last ones out, and we were having a cup of coffee in the concession stand, and all of a sudden he looked at me, I looked at him. He said, "Do you hear that?" And I said, "Yes." And we heard this sweeping sound, and it was coming right from here where that picture earlier in the day had fallen. So the ghost came back to clean up his mess, and it was one of the most freaky things that's happened to me in the building. I mean, it was very, very evident. The men's room, which is home to the King, which is a turn-of-the-century original porcelain floor model urinal. It's here in all its grandeur. One day I was running the lights in my tech booth, and all of a sudden the door flew open, and this customer who was at the show that night just stood there. He was just white, breathing heavy. He was just panicked. And I looked at him and said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Do you have ghosts in your building?" I said, yeah, we feel we do." He said, "Good." He said, "I was just taking a pee in the King, and one was standing right next to me." There was a door over here, similar to the one that's there, and then there was a main entrance there. And one of our actors was supposed to make his entrance from that side on a cue when an actor goes off stage. And all of a sudden, the actor didn't come out. And everybody went, what the heck is going on? In this door over here was the man that everybody sees. He was standing there, and the actor got so terrified and freaked out he couldn't make his entrance. And the guy just left and went back, and the show went on. But it was truly, he was standing in the doorway. So that's pretty cool.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, which is awesome. And we've had a number of people, while sitting in the audience, see things that move throughout the set that weren't supposed to be there. That's happened many times over the years. White little flashes and stuff. Amazing. So it's pretty cool.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So in other words, they think you have a great special effects department.
We have a great special effects department.